Hello. We good? All right. My name is Blaine Wilson, and 3D printing is huge. It's a $1.5 billion industry that's hamstrung by lead times measured in days, if not weeks, and excessive cost. It's very expensive to have things printed commercially. However, at that same time, home 3D printers are getting very inexpensive and yet very capable. They're bridging the capability gap between commercial services and what you can do at home. Ideally, we would like to connect that. There's great room to maximize that state of affairs. Excuse me. Again, the problem, 3D printers are underutilized. Most people who invest in a 3D printer or a rapid prototyping machine, it sits unused much of the time. Yet, on the demand side, it's, I'm really sorry guys, thank you. There's just a lot of room to disrupt things. It shouldn't be this way. It shouldn't cost this much, and it shouldn't take this long to get what you need or want. And it would be so easy to connect the dots between people who have something and aren't using it, and people who would like something sooner, faster, cheaper, better. As they say, no one of us can beat all of us. And if you're trying to compare any number of the commercial print services out there, they won't be able to compete with what everyone can feasibly do. So the solution is to provide that one-stop shopping environment to enable people with a home 3D printer and the proficiency to operate it well to stay at home and run it. Some people run 3D printers at home and it's kind of a little hobby shop that sometimes pays for itself, but the greatest limitation isn't their capability, it's the marketing, it's running a business. They're good at running a printer. They don't want to know about getting out there, finding customers, running the backside of it. So we would like to do that for them and charge a nominal percent as well as handle the marketing, bring them business. So overview, customer brings a file, they send it to us. We can determine how big the model is, how much material is in it, and from there they can search to find printers to make it for them. Allow them to set their own pricing, set up an entire ecosystem where this guy costs more than that guy, but he prints better or faster. Or this guy has a capability that he doesn't have. And let people maximize their time and resources. Again, market size, Forbes and others kind of argue whether it's 1.3 or $1.7 billion industry this year. What they do mostly agree on is it's going to be upwards of $3 billion in 2 short years. That growth is phenomenal. So again, the business model, a 10% transaction fee. In exchange for connecting people and handling the administrative side of their business. Let them focus on printing and collecting a check. Feedback rating systems would keep things honest. A lot of people are concerned, what if this person can't do what I want them to? What if they're not that good? Online feedback rating systems, it's a self-regulating system. People will work themselves out. Customer segments, right now, is primarily limited to industry, people who manufacture things. Machine shops, the Raytheons, the Motorola's, the GE's. And that's where the existing commercial demand is. However, it's getting broader than that. As people understand what it is and what it can do for them and how they can use it, it's not just limited to commercial applications, but anything. My son, once I got my 3D printer, he starts bringing me things. Dad, I broke my toy. Can you print me another one? That's huge. This is developing an interest in small children to create things, to make things, to produce things. It gets them thinking outside of the box, and that's phenomenal. So marketing plan, where we're at, anybody with a 3D printer, they're overwhelmingly willing to take money. Would you like money in exchange for your spare time and resources? Yes, overwhelmingly. However, we need to finish validating that the demand side would like that, that if you're an engineer in an office, are you willing to risk getting that part? In which case, again, we think that the information will back this up, but provided the rating systems is solid, there's no reason they wouldn't. Back up 1 or 2. Got it. And so that's really it. Those dots need to be connected. And if we don't, someone else will soon. And the market, by the time you see the bandwagon, it's too late. So we can get situated now. So if I might call up my wonderful team, I was very fortunate to accrue a terrific, talented team that really filled in all sides of what I needed to get this taking off this weekend.
So how do you handle the intellectual property issues, right? I'm Raytheon, I want to have something built, and I give it to Joe Schmo in Kansas. I mean, how do you handle that?
That could be an additional service. Someone may say that for a small nominal fee, we will secure your data, and we will sign and block NDA, but that would be something that would definitely need to be hashed out with the legal side, but it shouldn't be too great an obstacle, if any.
If I did my math correctly, your pre-money is about $2.25 million for an idea. Mm-hmm. What justifies that?
Where it's at and where it's going. If you consider what it could potentially do, the market is huge, and well, you know what, actually? This is
my chart right here. So we looked at it from a lot of different angles, actually had some great help from the mentors, trying to figure out what this looks like as a business inside of this very large multi-billion-dollar market. And so as we mapped out very detailed for the first 2 years, month by month, and then we came to a projection, a revenue projection at the end of that. And then looking at year 3, 4, and 5, just a 30% growth in a market that's going to grow 75% in the next 2 years, we come out to those numbers. And so we're going to go in there, going to put the sweat equity in. So that's why we're asking for a small amount to be able to cover us through the lull as we get people signed up. Majority of that money is going into marketing, not salaries or headcount, so we can get the market and the traction going.
The market size is there, I think it was one was 7 billion and 10 billion. Is that measured by services, or is that measured by equipment sales?
I believe that's services. The actual manufacturing of 3D printers, it's not really a calculation when people consider what's going to be the great effect.
How many, what's the installed, do you have a gross sense of what the installed base of the 3D printers is today?
It's estimated that there are approximately 85,000 3D printers out there. Of that, approximately 60,000 are what they call rep wraps, which are home 3D printers, ones that people have assembled themselves.
So where's the technology and price going of 3D printers?
3D printers is coming down hard and fast. That is to say, 5 years ago, you were looking at $15,000 to $20,000. 2 years, $2,000. 1 year, $1,500. It's down breaking $500 machines now, and you'll see $300 machines within 6 months.
So what's my, as a business owner that we use this technology, what's to say I just don't buy my own machine?
Because it requires some degree of expertise. It's like a CNC machine. You can have 2 users of the same CNC machine. One may have the expertise to really get good products out of it. It's just a time and energy equation. A lot of people have no interest in learning how to use this tool, and they just want the part.
If I could add something to that really quick as well, there's going to be 2 types of curves. So right now we have the plastic materials that are coming to market. The prices are going down on that. We actually see this as an opportunity for synergies to partner with manufacturers and other services to let people dip their toe in the water with 3D printing and then go out and actually buy their own $1,300 model right here. Right? So the lowest price point right now is about $500. So you start getting rivaling to home printers right now that just do paper printing, 2D printing, and then everybody has that, but then they want to print things of other materials. So then you have the second curve and second wave where this also applies. Where people want to do metals, rubbers, and all those things as well.
One of the big changes in technology is to not just have plastic, but to have ceramic and metal. And when that kicks in, now you're talking about supporting small run production quickly for all kinds of industries, and that's where things are going to really take off. So that's the key of the future for this.
How important is the dad who wants to print out a toy for his son for your venture? Because in that case, it's unreasonable to expect the dad to create an STL file. He just wants to send you a sketch or a photograph, and you do the dirty work for him.
One of the things we would like to do is incorporate additional services rendered. If somebody's really proficient at modeling, that should absolutely be something they can incorporate into simply the service of printing or post-processing. But for actually getting the models, as we try to push this into the home market from the strictly industrial, there are online parts libraries, enormous libraries. It's open collaborative sharing of information and files. So if you want a shark or a toy dog, you go download one, and they're out there.
The conversion from an image to an STL file, there are companies that can provide that kind of service. And so that's another revenue stream as well. Okay?
So thank you very much. That was great. We can